Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, does not cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. All right, 7 of Wands. You're on a path and you just won't give up, right? You just will not quit. This is a card of valor. You're somebody who believes in what you're doing to the point that you're going to keep doing it no matter what. You're not giving up on yourself. You're not giving up on your teammates. You're not giving up on the path, okay? Sometimes this card is about the way we're approaching an obstacle, okay? This kind of feels like we might be banging our head against a wall. Well, maybe we should use something else. Maybe a screwdriver, maybe a sledgehammer. Maybe there's a different method or a different tool in our toolbox that we could use, okay, to move forward in some way. Okay, it's kind of somebody who is so used to hammering nails, that's all they start to see. Everything's a nail, right? And the only tool I have is a hammer. So we might need to switch things up a little bit, but let's take a look at some more cards. You have the Eon, Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening, the Baptism by Fire. You've got a Princess of Wands, a 10 of Wands. There is that obstacle, the 7 of Pentacles, and wow, okay, a brand new perspective. That is some objective vantage point here, a bird's eye view with the Queen of Swords. We have a 6 of Swords. And the High Priestess, the 7 of Swords, and the 2 of Swords. Yeah, I feel that this is really good news. I feel like you are finding a way through your current obstacle. Okay? And I think, first of all, we have to make a choice to stop wasting energy doing something that hasn't been working. Yeah. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor, infinite and unknown. And we're just going to set it down right here with Mr. Tao, the yin-yang duck, right there on top. And now we're not going to look at that card until the very end. All right, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. All right, now let's look around the room. We've got 2 major arcana. That's kind of been the theme lately. It's the 2 majors. Most readings we've done of 2 or 3. It's kind of the normal, right? And it really is the doorway, right? The doorway to the intuition, for one, but the doorway to your best life, right? Because we have the Eon it's a card of transitions. It's a card of a choice to make a change, right? We're choosing to do something differently. We're choosing to sort of end something from the past, which I think is related to our 10 and our 7 of Wands, to apply ourselves to something different. I think really it's the choice to use a different tool, but it's really going to lead you to a complete freedom. You're going to kind of say, why didn't I use this tool before? It's like we bought it a long time ago. We didn't know what it was for. We put it in the back of the toolbox and we just never thought about it again. That's the one we need right now, right? It's kind of like the least likely thing, but that's going to solve the current problem, the current impasse. Whether we're talking career, business, creativity, finances, health, whether we're talking romantic relationship, platonic relationships, or spiritual path, some artistic work, I don't know, whatever you're doing. Whatever the whatever the sort of problem is right now, whatever the puzzle is that you're trying to solve, we need that very special tool, okay? And making that decision to go forward is kind of saying, I'm going to stop beating my head against the same brick wall. I'm going to figure out a different way to do it so I can go through this doorway, level up my life, finally get past this blockage and get to the future that I want, and get back to the plan, get back on the path, start getting further down the road. The High Priestess, of course, is what this is leading to. The High Priestess is opening us up to that intuition, that guiding light in our life that's going to lead us to our Empress life, maybe the mystery card. Because the High Priestess is card number 2. What is right behind the High Priestess? Card number 3, the Empress. The High Priestess is always leading you to your best life. Trying to, anyway. Trying to pull you by the hand and say, come this way, it's over here. Right? But meanwhile, we're banging our head against a wall over here. We're not able to hear or feel the tug of spirit or of the intuition. Okay? So we've got our majors. We've got fire, fire, fire. And no water. Air, air, and air. And air, and a little bit of earth. It's mostly fire and air. Okay? It's our impulse. It's what we're trying to do. It's our will. And, of course, our sort of our left brain, our mind, trying to figure out how to get more progress, right? How to break through in a very practical way, whatever this obstacle is, whatever the puzzle is, whatever the impasse is, whatever the dilemma is now, whatever the blockage is, whether it's in a relationship or in a career setting or whatever, right? It doesn't matter really what it is. It's the fact that it's an obstacle we're trying to get past right now. Okay? And I think we've been looking at it from below, like we've been looking up at it and thinking, gosh, this is a big problem. I don't know how I'm going to solve this, right? So we've been up against it for a minute, I think, and I feel, especially with the 777, by the way, with the 7 of fire and of earth, right? I feel like we've been doing the same thing, trying to get a different result, but we get the same thing. If we always do what we always did, we'll always get what we always got. Okay? And the sooner we realize this, the sooner we have this sort of, the wake-up call is part of the Eon card, right? It's a call, it's the alarm clock that's saying, hey, wait a minute. The alarm bells are going off. It's like, wait a minute. I keep doing the same thing, and that's why I keep getting that 7 of Pentacles. Right? 7 of Pentacles is a little f, failure. I'm trying. It didn't work. Gosh, why isn't it working? Ding, 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 bingo. It's because I've been doing the same thing. I've been putting in the same energy. I've been using the same tool. I've been looking at it the same way. I've been thinking about it the same way. Okay? And with the 7 of Swords, that's very similar energy. Okay? The 7 of Pentacles is something should be there, but is not there. Right? There's something missing from this picture, okay? So that's kind of representing our problem at the moment. The 7 of Wands is showing that we are holding this rather sort of weak-looking stick, and we're trying to bang against the obstacle. Like we're hitting it with the same hammer over and over and over again. The 7 of Swords is saying that we've been stuck on this one particular technique, right? When there's all these other little things trying to get through to us, right? These other little swords here. And that's really, to me, that's the High Priestess, trying to tell you that, hey, look, try something different. Try a different tool. Try a different, you have a lot of arrows in your quiver, try something else. But nothing's getting through to us. See, this is the futility of a stubborn mind. We're so fixed in what we're doing that I believe this is the way to do it. Nope, you got to use a hammer for this job, son. And there's some voice, and it's the intuition, it's the High Priestess saying, no, look, go over this way. Follow me to your best life. It's to either leave the obstacle alone. Maybe this thing isn't even meant for you to try to overcome the obstacle. Maybe it's just a wall in front of you. that you're trying to break it down, but Spirit's trying to lead you, just go around the side of it. You know what I mean? Or there's a door, you just open the door. Like, why are you banging on the brick? Just open the little wooden thing right there. But it's kind of like we're so fixed in the hammering, that we're not hearing the voice of Spirit, right? All these other little ideas. It's kind of, it could be other people in your life, but I feel like it's the intuition saying, what about this? What about this? What about this? Try this one, try this one. And we're sort of focused, hyper fixated on that central sword, right? That we believe that central sword, we believe that is the right tool, the central wand, the central staff here. We believe that is the only tool that we can use. Okay? But in another sense, these two cards are saying that all of your efforts are going to pay off, but we have to be able to listen to our intuition. We have to hear the other voices. We have to figure out what this hyperfixation is and why we keep doing the same thing over and over again, and what we need to do differently. Because this is a situation, once we get past this, it's going to level up your life. You're going to be, you're going to be cloud nine after this, okay? We've got to get through this. Obviously, what we've been doing hasn't been working, okay? This is a doorway. And it really could be that if we just looked at it differently, we would see it as a doorway and not as a brick wall, you know? And going through that doorway gives you clarity. Well, it's kind of like, well, I wish I had the clarity now so that I could see this as a doorway and not as a brick wall. But the clarity comes after, okay? So through the struggle, I think, is really where the freedom, the growth, the cloud nine, the clarity, and really where the High Priestess is waiting for you on the other side. It's kind of like you can hear the other side of the wall. You can hear Spirit calling your name. But it's just like, I can't get through the brick wall, you know? And so it's kind of like this is the test, that if we can get through this particular thing, then on the other side, we see that High Priestess, and we can take their hand and they'll lead us. She'll lead us to the best life, to the Empress, you know? But first, it's kind of like saying, well, if you can't get through this brick wall, then you're not going to get to the Empress, right? So this is the obstacle that we have to face as sort of a test, as a probationary period for this call to adventure, right? To sort of prove it's like the Grail Knight's first battle. And if they can figure out how to do it, then okay, now they become sort of an official knight, and now they can. They've earned it, you know, to follow the rest of the path. You've got the Princess of Wands down beneath the surface too, right? So this is kind of like saying, you know, you're capable of so many creative ideas. And this, I think, is what needs to come out and approach that. This is a fresh approach. This is not 7 and 7 fire and earth. This is new fire. This is a spark. This is an idea. This is, I got an idea. I'm going to try a different tool. Maybe this one won't work very well either, but at least I'm experimenting with different things, right? So you have to kind of follow your impulse here and let yourself be this sort of spontaneous and creative person. I don't think it's literally a wall that you're trying to take down. Maybe it is. I don't know. But whatever this challenge is, I feel like this is allowing yourself to just be creative, be in the moment, be spontaneous. Okay? Follow your impulse a little bit. Just sort of do what comes naturally. And get out of this idea that there's one tool, one job, and I just got to keep hammering away at it. Eventually it's going to give way, right? So this is that creative spark. This is that little bit of genius, that little bit of like, wait, I got an idea, you know? It's a little flash of inspiration. Yeah, and this is going to be the key, okay? The 10 of Wands, though, in the background here, it kind of makes me feel that you've been stuck here for a while. I'm kind of feeling like this is, I kind of feel like this is related to the level of responsibility that you have, okay? A 10 of Wands, it's kind of like all the world is on your shoulders. The entire load of this thing is yours. There's no one to share the burden. There's no one to share the work with. It's just all up to you, and it's kind of, I think just that pressure, it makes you feel kind of weighed down. It makes you feel just like right off the bat, like not functioning at our full capacity. You know what I mean? Like we just wake up feeling already tired. Does that make sense? So I feel there is an exhaustion in you, but I kind of feel like it's getting difficult to get up and go back and face this obstacle again and again and again. We're getting kind of tired to the point where we're with a hammer and we're just like barely hammering it anymore. Just like, I don't know what to do anymore. At the beginning, it was like we're swinging away at it. And now it's just like, I'm just so tired. I don't even know. But we keep doing it, right? And this could be the idea, like we're going into work, going into the office, and we find the same problems are still there. And we're just getting so tired of it because we feel like no one else is trying to solve it, and I'm kind of giving up on it myself, but I'm still there just trying to figure it out day after day. And this is maybe we wake up and we sort of look over the family finances and we just feel like it's just the same problem. I'm looking at the same numbers every day, banging my head against the wall. And so there's this feeling that it's kind of all on your shoulders, and I don't know if part of the solution here is about you delegating, or even just asking for help, or to make it known, to sort of to recognize that part of the problem here is, one, that you're doing it all alone, and then two, that you're not feeling it, you're not motivated anymore. See, this 10 of Wands is exhaustion, and this is yesterday's energy. It's kind of like, it's like you're beyond exhausted, but we're still here. You're not giving up. You're not quitting. You're still doing it, but I don't think you're doing it at like 100% capacity. It's like you're already drained, right? So something has to change. Something's got to give here, whether this is asking for help or putting the tools down and stepping away from it for a time. What we've got to do is make a decision to do something different. We've got to make a decision to change. Okay? And going into the future position, we've got this clarity. We've got this, maybe it's saying really step away, get a bird's eye view of this thing. Maybe you'll see that this isn't even the obstacle to even worry about. Like this one, just forget it, leave it. Maybe it's saying that there's a different way around this obstacle. Maybe it's going to give you the clarity, the insight, that objective viewpoint to kind of show you a better path. We think of like getting a bird's eye view of something. We see a broad picture. We can see the whole landscape. Yeah? So we can say, okay, I'm here. It's like you're at the mall, you're looking at one of those big maps, and it says, you are here. Okay, well, I want to get here so I can go around this way, right? But if you're in the mall, you're on the ground, you're just staring at the Cold Stone Creamery or whatever, and he's saying, I don't know how to get to that, whatever, clothing store, sporting goods store, I don't know. The record shop, I don't know. I don't know how to get to that bookstore that's upstairs and around the corner, so I don't know how to get there from here. I'm staring at this thing. We can't see the bigger picture. We can't see the path, right? So we look at the map. This is you looking at the map, okay? And it may reveal to you that this obstacle is kind of not even preventing you from doing anything. It's just kind of, it's an illusion in a way. But it may let you see that, hey, the goal is like right beyond this obstacle. I'm right by the bookstore. Yes, all I got to do is go up the stairs and I'm there. Right? My problem was I was on the wrong floor or something. I don't know. Or we may realize that I'm gonna go to the ice cream shop for a minute, and I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna relax, and I'm gonna just zone out on my ice cream for a few minutes, watch some tarot readings on YouTube, and then I'm going to get back to it, and I'm going to be refreshed, and I'm going to be able to do it, and I'm going to see the path. And sometimes when we step away from a problem and then come back, it renews our energy and our confidence, and we get that motivation, and that's even when we get that big, great idea. Oh yeah, I know what to do. Sometimes when we're so exhausted, we're not going to figure out the problem. We step away and just do something else, distract ourselves. And then we come back, and the answer is there like that. The solution, it just presents itself. Okay? Let's talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, Capricorn, please do. It is totally free, does not cost anything. Your general energy is the map itself. Okay. So I feel that this is really like, realizing that there is a plan to all of this. I think you're somebody that tries to be very organized. I feel like getting this bird's eye view and looking at the map is going to help you to get organized. I think you need to get organized. You need to line up your tools and say, okay, I'm going to approach this systematically. I'm going to try this tool. First, I'm going to sort of line up my tools in order that I think they might be most effective. I know the hammer didn't work. I'll put the hammer at the end of the line. And then everything else is going to be arranged in the order of its probable, efficacy. And I'll just start with the first tool. Bang. Nope, didn't work. Put that at the end. Another tool. Bang. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. And eventually we'll figure out exactly what we need to do, but we have to organize ourselves. We have to be sort of systematic about it. It's kind of just like saying you gotta, do you have a big keychain or something, or a lot of keys on a big key, like a jailer, I feel like you have a lot of keys for something. But it's kind of like we're trying to unlock a door and we have 1,000 keys. I'm just going to randomly pick a key and put it in the lock. Nope. Randomly pick a key, put it in the lock. Nope. The odds are we're going to just be picking the same couple of keys over and over and over again. There has to be some sort of plan here. Otherwise, it's chaos. So we're trying to put order into chaos here. And it says, okay, I got 1,000 keys. I'm going to start with one. And that's not it. I'm going to set that one aside. So I don't try that one again, waste my time by doing the same thing again, you see. Because I know that was not the right key. So that's the kind of organization, the sort of strategy that we need right now. And I think if we're just in this frustrated, tired, exhausted, just banging our head against the wall energy, we're not going to have much of us. That's not a good strategy anyway, right? It's painful. So this is really about finding some space to clear our head, to sort of calm our energy down, to relax, to get away from this for a minute so we can strategize, so we can also hear the intuition. We want to get to that point where spirit is guiding us. It's that Zhuangzi story of the butcher who has this knife, and it's just like closing his eyes, and the knife just sort of is just sort of gliding through what he's carving, and it's effortless. And it's just kind of like there's no resistance, there's no friction, there's no frustration. It's just like a dance, And I think that's really like, that's the addition. We have to be organized, strategic, and then we have to sort of be in the flow. And we have to let spirit sort of guide us through, And I think that this is kind of like the missing key, because without the High Priestess, this is just saying, look, your mind can figure it out. And, if that was the case, you probably already would have. I think really that missing thing is that our mind is so frustrated and so, up here perhaps distracted in a way by just the chaos and the frustration. The Seven of Swords doing kind of a double duty here today. That we're not able to hear the intuition that's trying to guide our hand to the right tool. That's trying to guide us along. It's easy to have a plan. It's easy to have a strategy, but we still need some sort of grace, right? We still need that kind of, that divine hand to sort of, to guide us through the plan and the strategy, okay? I think that the solution to this problem, the solving of this puzzle or the overcoming of this obstacle is going to lead you to your best life. Okay. It's like you're unlocking the door to grace, unlocking the door to your heaven on earth, to the big rock candy mountain, The High Priestess being the intuition, it's in the position of your environment and your relationships. I feel like it's kind of indicating that the solution here is sort of hidden underneath something. It's like you're looking for the perfect tool. It's not in the toolbox. No, it fell on the ground. It rolled underneath. There's something hidden from you that you're just in your frustration. You can't see it, but maybe it's like, where are my glasses? I can't find they're right on my face, right? So it's kind of like something is not obvious. Something is kind of concealed from you in a way, but you can't find it because you're in this frustrated energy. It's kind of like you've gone through all 1,000 of the keys, but the one you needed was the one that accidentally fell down when you were sorting through the other ones, or it's the one that, I forgot I put it in my pocket. It's kind of like it may be a very silly and a very obvious solution, may frustrate you even more. Sometimes Spirit works that way, right? We have to accept this and kind of try to laugh at it. If that is the case, instead of getting frustrated, let's just try to be like, oh, Spirit, you're a trickster. And take advantage of what's revealed, okay? So the High Priestess does give that intimation that something is, that the solution is something that's just beyond your awareness. It's hidden underneath the napkin or something, you know what I mean? Like it's right there, but you just can't see it yet, okay? And that's partly because of the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is, I think, not able to stick to the plan because there is this frustrated sort of chaotic energy that's going, especially with the fire, plus the air, fire and air. I mean, that makes a lot of, a lot of really dry winds. We don't see any water energy here. You're not enjoying yourself right now. And I understand that. I think part of the recommendation here is that if you were to just do something for yourself, calm yourself down, do some self-care type stuff, go have the ice cream, right? Relax, get a little bit of water energy in, have a little bit of fun, a little bit of joy, a little bit of distraction. The answer might reveal itself to you. You might be like, I know where I put it, obviously, It's kind of one of those things where it's on the tip of your tongue, but the more you try to figure out the word, the further away it seems to get. But then later on, when you're distracted by something else and you're just involved in something completely separate, that's when the word comes to you, and then you got to call your friend and say, I thought of the word. Well, that's kind of the Seven of Swords here, that we don't want to be distracted. We want to focus on this. This is the problem. I got to focus on this. We're hyper-fixated. And that prevents us sometimes from just having this sort of peace of mind, having this complete freedom, going and doing something else, letting ourselves be distracted. I'm going to go distract myself with something else now. And then the answer will come, And I think the Two of Swords is kind of along those lines too. This is peace. This is peace of mind. This is your ability to sleep at night, right? This is kind of a mental relaxation that says, okay, you know what? Everything worked out. This is great. This is fine. We've selected the right tool, but not intellectually. It's by the psychic energy. That lunar crescent at the top of the card is a reference to the High Priestess. High Priestess represents the full moon. Okay. I don't know if you do some kind of lunar magic or something like that, but a full moon energy. I think really that the next full moon, you should try to find a body of water to be near during the full moon. Okay? I think the water is going to be very important for you in a very physical way. It might even recommend getting a glass of water or something, right? And setting it out at night under the full moon to absorb those lunar rays and then consume the water. Well, make sure there's no bugs in it, but you know what I mean. Charge that water with the lunar essence. Okay? This is tapping into the intuition by calming the mind down. It's kind of like we're spreading the waters, we're spreading the thoughts, the chaos of our own mind. We're sort of clearing the space and listening. And Spirit's trying to guide you to the right answer here. Okay. Now, I think we should look at the mystery card. Excuse my voice. It's failing a little bit, but I will be just fine. I'll take a sip of this. My water here. The mystery card, I would hope, would be some water energy. Or it's going to be the moon card, or it's going to be the High Priestess again. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. the Page of Cups. Well, it is water energy, right? This is kind of saying that the answer is going to come to you in a very unexpected way, right? That we have to do something out of the ordinary. There's a fish in the percolator here. It seems absurd, right? Sometimes the answer you're looking for is in the least likely place, okay? Sometimes looking for things in the very obvious, rational, logical place is not where you're going to find it. You've got to look in between the logic. You've got to use your sort of spiritual perception. You've got to look at something by moonlight rather than by sunlight. Okay? That's why we've got the High Priestess. You've got to use the lunar light. You know, things look very different at night under the full moon than they do during the day under the sunlight, right? So it's kind of saying, look in the least likely place for the answer. Look at something through your spiritual vision rather than through your conscious, rational mind. Look for the uncanny. Look for the absurd. Look for what is there that really shouldn't be there. That might be something that's sort of covering up the answer, right? It's kind of like in a video game where one piece of the wall is kind of, it looks different than the rest of the wall. And that's where you know you got to kind of, that's where you know you got to break through the thing. Or like there's an object on the ground that's just kind of, it's a different color than the floor or whatever. Or it's got a weird shine, sparkle to it. Then you know that you're supposed to grab that object. I don't know if video games are still like that, but they used to be. It's kind of things that are supposed to be part of the background are standing out to you as something in the foreground. It's like Twin Peaks. This is my Twin Peaks card. There's a fish in the percolator. Why? What is the point? What is that supposed to be signifying to us? Why are we supposed to look? Well, it could be a red herring, right? No pun intended. It could be something that we're supposed to look at it, but it's a distraction from what's really important. It could be that this obstacle itself is the red herring. That this obstacle is something that we think is what we're supposed to be focusing on, but Spirit might be showing us a different thing. We have to look in places that we normally wouldn't look. We have to look at things under the light of the moon, not the light of the sun. Okay? Also, go get a bowl of ice cream. All right. Now we're going to do an extended reading. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. We're going to do an Jing reading. We're going to do some oracle cards. Okay. New readings for Capricorn Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, does not cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.